Welcome to the wild side. The animal kingdom is full of secrets waiting for you to uncover. From creatures that look like they walked out of a cartoon to survival tricks stranger than science fiction, nature never runs out of surprises. The only bird bold enough to mess with an eagle is the crow. It will land right on the eagle's back, pecking at its neck like a tiny assassin. But here's the twist. The eagle never fights back. Instead, it spreads its massive wings and soars higher and higher. As the air thins, the crow can't handle the altitude. Out of breath and out of strength, it eventually falls away. The eagle doesn't waste energy on distractions. It just rises above. The moral of the story: like the eagle, focus on soaring and leave the crows behind. The higher you climb, the smaller the distractions become. Reindeer or caribou have a remarkable visual adaptation. They are the only known mammals whose eye color changes with the seasons. In the sunlit Arctic summer, their eyes appear golden, but in the long, dark winter months, they shift to a deep blue. This transformation isn't just cosmetic. It's a survival mechanism that enhances their vision under extreme lighting conditions. The change occurs in the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina found in many animals that improves night vision. During summer, this layer reflects golden light, helping reindeer manage the intense sunlight and glare. In winter's dim twilight, their pupils remain dilated for long periods, increasing pressure inside the eye. This pressure reshapes the tapetum lucidum, causing it to reflect blue light instead, a wavelength better suited for the low-light, ozone-rich Arctic environment. This seasonal color shift, confirmed by research published in Proceedings of the Royal Society B, is a rare example of biological engineering, one that allows reindeer to thrive at the very edge of visibility. Did you know that tigers have striped skin, not just striped fur? If you were to shave a tiger, the bold black stripes would still be visible, perfectly matching the pattern of the coat. That's because the pigments that create the stripes are present in the skin itself, not only in the hair. Each tiger's stripe pattern is unique, much like a human fingerprint. These stripes serve as powerful camouflage, breaking up the animal's outline in tall grass and dappled light, making it nearly invisible to both prey and rivals. Elephants possess an extraordinary ability to detect rainstorms from more than 150 miles, 240 kilometers away. They do this by sensing low-frequency sounds and infrasound, vibrations below the range of human hearing, that travel long distances through the ground and air. Thunder, rainfall, and even the sound of distant storms create these vibrations, and elephants, with their highly sensitive feet and trunks, can pick them up with remarkable accuracy. This skill enables them to adjust their migration routes toward areas where fresh water and vegetation will soon become available, ensuring the survival of the herd. Combined with their strong memory of past watering holes and landscapes, elephants effectively map out resources across vast territories. Their storm-sensing ability is not just fascinating, it's a critical survival tool in the unpredictable climates they inhabit. Did you know that killer whales can imitate human speech? Orcas, or killer whales, have demonstrated an astonishing ability. In captivity, researchers have recorded orcas producing recognizable sounds like hello, bye-bye, and even imitating other noises such as a creaking door or the blowing of a raspberry. This vocal flexibility shows that orcas aren't limited to the calls they naturally use in the wild. Instead, they have the capacity to learn new sounds by imitation, a rare skill in the animal kingdom shared with only a few species, like parrots, dolphins, and elephants. In the wild, this ability likely plays an important role in their complex social lives. Different orca pods are known to have unique dialects of clicks and whistles, which may function like cultural traditions passed down through generations. Ants can hold grudges. Seriously, turns out ants don't just march, they remember. Scientists at the University of Freiburg discovered that ants can recognize rival nests and adjust their aggression based on past encounters. If a rival colony attacked them before, the ants went full-on war mode later when they smelled that nest. But if the rivals played it cool, the ants backed off. That's not just instinct, it's memory. Ants, with brains the size of a pinhead, can actually learn, adapt, and hold grudges. Female frogs don't always play along. When swarmed by aggressive males during mating season, some European common frogs simply shut down. They go limp, motionless, playing dead. It's called tonic immobility, usually a trick against predators. But here it's used to dodge unwanted partners. In tests, 33% of females pulled this move. Others twisted free or mimicked male calls to get released. Smaller females even escaped more often. Why? Because too much attention can be deadly. In big mating clusters, females risk drowning. For them, playing dead can mean staying alive. Did you know a lion's tongue can strip meat straight from bone? It's covered in backward-facing spines called papillae, made of keratin, the same stuff as your fingernails. To us, it feels like coarse sandpaper. To the lion, it's a survival weapon. With just a few licks, they can scrape flesh clean, groom their fur, and even pull parasites off. They waste nothing, licking a carcass bare. It's a perfect example of how evolution shapes every detail for survival. From their teeth and claws down to their tongue, lions are built to be efficient, powerful predators, right down to the very last lick. No wonder they call them the kings of the jungle. Camel tears might hold the key to fighting venom from as many as 26 different snake species. Fasten your seatbelt. Here's what the latest claim said. Researchers at the Central Veterinary Research Laboratory in Dubai suggest camel tears could neutralize venoms from up to 26 species of snakes. They point to compounds, particularly camelid antibodies or so-called nanobodies, in tears and blood, that may counter both neurotoxins and hemotoxins, the lethal stuff in many venomous bites. If this pans out, it could change the game in places with scarce antivenom access. But before you dream up tears as a universal antidote, the evidence is still preliminary. The man who turned himself into a human snake lab. For nearly 18 years, he injected himself with over 650 escalating doses of venom from 16 of the world's deadliest snakes. Not just once or twice. He let those fangs sink in, about 200 times. Cobras, mambas, vipers, you name it, he faced them all. His goal? To build immunity that could save lives. While most would be dead in minutes, Frida walks away, living proof of the power of self-made antibodies. Sea otters don't just float around looking cute. They carry a secret weapon under their arms, skin pockets. Inside, a favorite rock. Not just any rock, but their rock. Used to smash open clams, mussels, and sea urchins. Some keep the same stone for years, like a trusted hammer. Females rely on them most, especially when feeding hungry pups. Pups learn by watching, passing down tool skills across generations. By cracking shells, otters also protect kelp forests, keeping entire ocean ecosystems alive. a furry engineer with a pocket toolkit. Cats are true masters of sleep, spending about 70% of their lives snoozing. On average, a cat sleeps 13 to 16 hours a day, and some even nap up to 20 hours, especially kittens and senior cats. Over a 15-year lifespan, that adds up to more than 10 years spent asleep. This impressive sleep schedule is a result of their evolution as predators. In the wild, cats conserve energy between intense bursts of hunting activity. Even though domestic cats aren't chasing prey anymore, their instincts remain unchanged. They rest frequently to stay ready at all times. Most cats' sleep is light and easily interrupted. Only a portion of the sleep is deep and restorative, while the rest keeps them alert to subtle sounds or movements. So while your cat may seem lazy, it's actually following an ancient survival strategy. To a cat, a good nap isn't a luxury, it's a way of life. In some spider species, females may prey on males after mating, a behavior that has driven the development of distinctive mating strategies. For the male spider Nephalanges malabarensis, mating is a death gamble. In this category, the female shows predatory behavior towards the male after mating, when you often attack it and eat it immediately after the operation. To address this danger, the man has developed an incredible evolutionary strategy. During mating, one of its reproductive organs, pedipalp, separates from its body and remains inside the female. And its role does not stop there. The separate organ continues to pump the sperm after the male escapes or dies, increasing the chances of egg fertilization. But the biggest surprise is that this separate organ acts as a genital lock that prevents other males from mating with the same female, thus ensuring the first male the greatest chance of passing his genetics without competition. Although the male may sometimes survive after leaving the organ, he becomes sterile and unable to mate again, making him devote his entire body and life only once. This phenomenon is one of the most prominent examples of extreme behavioral adaptations in nature and shows how natural selection can produce behaviors that seem crazy but are highly effective. The vivid colors on butterfly wings aren't due to pigment alone. They're a result of structural coloration. At a microscopic level, butterfly wings are covered in layers of nanostructures that interact with light through diffraction, interference, and scattering. These intricate arrangements selectively reflect specific wavelengths of light, creating shimmering iridescence that can shift with angle and lighting. This phenomenon is especially striking in species like the morpho butterfly, whose brilliant blue wings contain no blue pigment at all. Instead, this color you see is a product of light bouncing through the nanoscale ridges on the wing scales. Scientists study these natural structures for innovations in biomimicry, leading to developments in anti-counterfeit materials, color-changing surfaces, and even energy-efficient displays. In a rare and bizarre biological case, a female high school student in Ontario, Canada, once discovered a toad. Not just any toad, one of its eyes was inside its mouth. Nicknamed Gollum, this toad was identified as Bufo americanus. The cause of this condition is a rare genetic mutation that led to a disturbance in the genital creation process, where the cells responsible for the formation of the eyes deviated towards the mouth, rather than stabilizing in their normal position on the head. Interestingly, this phenomenon has never been recorded by any known species of amphibious. This amazing anomaly is scientifically known as a malfunction in cell migration, the stage in which fetal cells move to form organs and tissues. What happened is believed to be the result of a precise error in the molecular signals responsible for directing these cells during embryo growth. Although some creatures may be born with birth deformities, this condition is unique. This discovery has piqued scientists' interest in the fields of evolutionary biology and genetics, opening up a deeper understanding of how organs evolved and distributed across genetic time, not just in amphibians but in vertebrate organisms in general. Gollum survived shortly after being born and was able to open its eyes from inside its mouth when it opened its jaw, in an incredible sight if not documented via photography. It may seem scientific fiction, but it's a biological fact. Nature never ceases to surprise us. Turns out chickens do more than cluck. They can blush. And it might be a window into their emotional world. A new study from the University of Tours has found that chickens show changes in facial skin redness in response to different emotional states. When hens were excited, such as during dust bathing or eating treats, their faces, combs, and wattles became noticeably redder. In contrast, calmer birds showed paler skin tones. The researchers used cameras and image analysis software to track these subtle color changes in Sussex hens across various scenarios, including being handled, which increased redness, or simply relaxing, which reduced it. Interestingly, hens accustomed to human interaction showed both less fear and less facial redness when approached. Though the study involved a small sample, it hints at a powerful, non-verbal emotional signal that could revolutionize how we understand and improve chicken welfare. Ever heard the phrase, "sleep tight, don't let the bedbugs bite"? Well, turns out that's true. These pests are rapidly evolving resistance to insecticides. Genetic changes are making them tougher, meaner, and almost immune to chemicals once deadly to them. That's why old-school pest control is failing, and infestations are harder to kill off than ever. Scientists warn we need new weapons because the bedbugs are already winning. These findings highlight the urgent need for new strategies and chemicals to manage bedbug populations and prevent their spread. A new study reveals that even just 15 minutes of playing with a dog can significantly reduce stress in humans. Calming your body and mind. Researchers found that stressed college students who interacted with friendly dogs experienced reduced heart rate, lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol in their saliva, and reported less stress overall. These students saw their stress fall by over 33% after playing with pups. Even the dogs benefited, showing lower stress a week later. Play, pet, hug, or toss a treat. Dogs deliver therapy without a license. In the wild, male kangaroos don't just fight, they flex. The male kangaroo strengthens his muscles and displays his physical strength in front of females, in a scene that seems closer to a natural bodybuilding show in the wild. Older and more powerful males stand in particular poses that highlight their chests and arms, as a clear indication of readiness and superiority. This parade is not just for decoration, it is a direct message to women. I am stronger, I am the noblest. Alongside the parade, the older males fight among themselves through kicks and punches, each trying to prove their dominance. The loser quits, while the winner gets the biggest chance to mate. Females are instinctively attracted to the strongest and largest, because that means a greater chance of transmitting strong, healthy genes. So, muscles in the world of kangaroos become the language of yarn and a natural means of choosing a partner. Imagine diving into Lake Neuchâtel in Switzerland and suddenly seeing a monster grin in the darkness. Yep, someone put this shark statue at the bottom of the lake to scare divers. Not a real shark, but a 20-foot, 6-meter fiberglass one. First discovered in 2002, It was a leftover prop from a local production called Shock Olak, and has since become the lake's most chilling resident. Today, it lurks as a surreal underwater attraction, daring divers to come face to face with this eerie predator. Would you dive down to meet it? In 2014, one small guinea pig became a legend. His name? Randy. This pint-sized escape artist broke out of his pen at Hatton Adventure World in England and slipped into a female-only enclosure. What followed was pure chaos. Randy managed to mate with nearly 100 females. The result? Over 400 baby guinea pigs in one explosive population. He was crowned the furry Casanova of the rodent world, a tiny troublemaker who turned a petting zoo into his personal empire of fluff. Seeing a rhino with its horn totally intact is very rare. But have you ever wondered why? Poachers steal the rhino's horn, which are extremely valuable on the black market, due to its perceived medicinal properties and as a status symbol, especially in parts of Asia. The illegal rhino horn trade incentivizes organized crime to hunt rhinos using increasingly sophisticated techniques, commonly resulting in animals being mortally wounded and subsequently abandoned after horn extraction. This practice contributes significantly to rhino population declines and impedes conservation initiatives. Conservationists have even resorted to dehorning rhinos, removing most of the horn, leaving just a stump, to deter poaching. A 7-year study conducted between 2017 and 2023 in South Africa's Greater Kruger area found that dehorning reduced poaching by about 78% in reserves that practiced it, compared with those that did not. Dehorning doesn't hurt the rhino. It's like cutting fingernails or trimming horses' hooves. But, thankfully, rhino horns do grow back, roughly every 1.5 to 2 years. But dehorning remains a drastic, necessary measure to give these animals a fighting chance. For the first time in history, off the coast of Costa Rica, fishermen pulled up something straight out of science fiction. A bright orange shark with glowing white eyes. This isn't Photoshop or AI. This is a real shark. Scientists confirmed it was the first recorded case of xanthism in a shark. That's when excess yellow pigments overwhelm the skin, turning it a golden orange glow instead of the usual gray-brown. But it didn't stop there. The shark's eyes lacked dark pigment, a sign of albinism. Two of the rarest conditions are both colliding in one animal. To put this in perspective, nurse sharks, Ginglimostoma serratum, usually blend into the reefs of the Atlantic and Caribbean. This one would have stood out like a neon sign. Researchers called it the first scientifically documented shark with both traits, an evolutionary lottery ticket no one expected to see. In 2019, on a roadside in the UK, drivers spotted a strange bright orange bird. Rescuers thought it was some rare tropical species. Wrong. It was just a seagull, drenched in curry powder. Nicknamed Vinny, the gull couldn't fly, smelled like takeout, and looked like a fast food mascot gone rogue. After a careful scrub at Tiggywinkle's Wildlife Hospital, its feathers turned white again, and it was released back into the wild. Believe it or not, this wasn't the first case. Another gull had already fallen into chicken tikka masala in 2016. Apparently, seagulls have a thing for spicy food. Birdwatching can improve mental health. The study involved participants divided into 3 groups: a control group, a group assigned to 5 nature walks, and a group assigned to 5 30-minute birdwatching sessions. Researchers utilized the World Health Organization 5 Well-Being Index to measure subjective well-being. Results showed that while all groups experienced improvements, the birdwatching group had the most significant gains in well-being and reductions in distress. Given that college students are among those most affected by mental health issues, the accessibility of birdwatching makes it an appealing option for enhancing mental well-being. The study suggests that incorporating birdwatching into campus activities could provide a simple yet effective strategy for improving students' mental health. Bertha, also known as Big Bertha, was an Irish cow who held the Guinness World Record for the oldest cow ever recorded. She passed away in 1993, just weeks before turning 49. She also held a second record for the most calves produced in a lifetime, with a proud record of 39 offspring. Born on St. Patrick's Day in 1945 in County Kerry, Ireland, Big Bertha became a local celebrity and was used to raise over $75,000 for cancer research and other charities by appearing at fairs and leading St. Patrick's Day parades. An interesting fact about Big Bertha is that her owner would calm her nerves before noisy public appearances with a shot of whiskey. She was so beloved that after she passed away on New Year's Eve, 1993, a wake was held in her honor at a local pub in County Kerry, Ireland. Her story inspired an Irish gin brand called Bertha's Revenge, which is made with whey alcohol. After her death, Big Bertha was preserved by a taxidermist. She is now on display at a farm in Beaufort, County Kerry. During the COVID-19 lockdown, a dolphin named Mystique at Tin Can Bay, Australia, turned into an underwater Santa. This 29-year-old humpback dolphin started hauling in presents for humans: timber, seashells, bottles, even coral. His gift-giving increased. Sometimes he delivered 10 gifts in a single day, leading to speculation that he was trying to connect with the absent humans. Mystique balanced them on his beak and proudly handed them to volunteers at the Barnacles Dolphin Center, expecting a tasty fish in return. No one trained him to do this. In fact, the staff joked that Mystique was the one training them, a true reminder of just how clever and quirky dolphins can be. Female octopuses don't swipe left. They launch projectiles. Researchers in Australia caught octopus tetrachus females blasting shells, silt, and debris at pushy males. Out of 102 throws, nearly two-thirds came from females, often during unwanted mating attempts. How? They use their siphon like a high-pressure cannon, firing with shocking accuracy while flashing dark skin as a warning. Some males dodge, most don't. One unlucky suitor endured 10 direct hits before finally retreating. Who needs sweet talk when you can just throw rocks, right? Over 1,000 years ago, Norse settlers brought with them a hardy and unusual breed of sheep. Unlike ordinary sheep, these rare animals stood out with not 2, but 4 majestic curling horns, a genetic trait called polycerati. They thrived in the wild, rugged landscapes of the British Isles and became part of Viking farming life. But as centuries passed and commercial farming took over, the breed nearly vanished. By the mid-20th century, only a handful survived, and many feared the Viking sheep would disappear forever. Now, thanks to dedicated conservationists and heritage farmers, these sheep are making an incredible comeback. Small flocks are once again grazing the green pastures of Britain, keeping alive a living piece of Viking history. Beyond their striking looks, they carry valuable genetic diversity and stand as a reminder of how ancient traditions can endure against the odds. Every twist of their horns tells a story of survival, heritage, and resilience across the ages. Ever seen a bear just sit and stare? Wildlife watchers often spot them perched on hillsides, gazing silently at mountains, rivers, or even sunsets. Not hunting, not foraging, just watching. Some believe it's proof that even these massive predators can pause for a moment of peace, almost like they're appreciating beauty. This behavior suggests a possible basic sense of beauty or enjoyment of their surroundings, though it is a complex concept that challenges the traditional view of human-exclusive traits. It's a rare glimpse of wild power meeting quiet reflection. The Saharan silver ant is a speed demon of the desert. It ranks among the fastest creatures relative to its size. Tiny but terrifyingly fast, it bolts across the burning sand at 108 body lengths per second. To put that in perspective, if a human could move at the same relative speed, it would translate into a sprint of about 534 miles per hour, well beyond the reach of even the most advanced supercars. But while this comparison grabs attention, biology and physics make it impossible in practice. The square cube rule explains why. Scaling up an ant would multiply its body mass much faster than the strength of its legs, leaving it unable to support or move itself. Its breathing system, designed for tiny bodies, would also collapse under the demand. The takeaway is that extreme performance in miniature species does not scale neatly into human terms. These comparisons serve more as thought experiments that underscore the remarkable adaptations of small creatures, rather than predictions of what scaled-up versions could achieve. A turtle can never crawl out of its shell. Unlike common myths, the shell is not separate from the body. The shell isn't clothing. It's a living structure fused to the turtle's spine and ribs, made of bone and covered in keratin, the same material as human fingernails. Their organs, muscles, and nerves are all connected to it. Remove the shell and the turtle dies. No escape hatch. By the 1990s, Florida panthers were almost gone. Fewer than 30 remained, sickly and inbred. Then came a bold gamble. In 1995, scientists brought in 8 female Texas pumas to inject fresh genes into the population. It worked. Today, about 200 Florida panthers roam the wild. Twisted tails and fertility issues, largely gone. And despite fears, their unique DNA survived. Still, researchers warn that the gains may be temporary. The rescue wasn't perfect, dangers remain. Continued inbreeding could resurface if the population remains small. But this genetic lifeline pulled an entire subspecies back from extinction. All pet rabbits descended from just one species of wild rabbit. It's hard to believe, but all of these domesticated rabbit breeds descended from just one species of wild rabbit, the European rabbit. There are now hundreds of different breeds of pet rabbits in various sizes and colors. Some have long, fluffy fur, and some have short, velvety fur. Some rabbits have ears that stick up straight, and some have ears that flop down. Crocodile versus alligator. What's the difference? They look similar, but they're worlds apart. Saltwater crocodiles are monsters, topping 20 feet, 6 meters, and clamping down with 3,000 to 5,000 pounds of bite force. Alligators? Still deadly, but smaller, about 14 feet, 4.2 meters max, with a mere 2,500 psi crunch. Experts use an easy ID trick to tell the difference. Crocs flash teeth even when their mouths are shut, with long V-shaped snouts. Gators hide theirs, rocking a U-shaped jawline. While crocs can handle both salt and fresh water, gators keep it freshwater only. Did you know that horses can sleep standing up? Horses have a built-in survival trick. Thanks to the stay apparatus, a system of tendons, ligaments, and muscles, they can literally lock their legs and snooze while standing. This lets them catch light naps without collapsing, always ready to bolt from danger. But for deep REM sleep, the kind that really restores the body, they still need to lie down for a short while. Imagine napping on your feet, perfectly balanced, waiting to sprint at any moment. Alien octopus, the theory that shocked science. In 2018, 33 scientists stirred the world with a bold claim. Octopuses might be aliens. Why? Their genome holds over 33,000 genes, more than humans. They can rewrite their own RNA, flexing biology like no other. Their brains solve puzzles, their camouflage is instant, and they escape traps like master escape artists. Some even suggested alien viruses or frozen eggs hitchhiked on comets to Earth. But mainstream science calls this fiction. Octopuses evolved here alongside squids and other mollusks for over 500 million years. Their strangeness isn't alien, it's evolution showing off. Still, the idea keeps imaginations alive. Sea sponges aren't just survivors, they're masters of regeneration. They have an incredible ability to regenerate, allowing them to regrow from fragments and cells. Some, like glass sponges, can even live for thousands of years, giving them a reputation for being immortal. Far from useless lumps, they're vital to the ocean. Sponges are essential marine animals, providing shelter for other organisms and recycling nutrients. Scientists are researching the unique chemical compounds produced by sponges, which show promise for various medical applications, such as fighting cancer and bacterial infections. And here's the jaw-dropper. If you grind a sponge into tiny cells, push it through a sieve, and drop it in salt water, you'd think you've destroyed it. Wrong. The scattered cells recognize each other and reassemble into a brand new sponge. This bizarre trick, called cellular reaggregation, makes sponges the only animals on Earth that can rebuild their entire bodies from disassembled cells. In Japan, trains don't just whistle, they bark. This isn't a joke. It's high-tech wildlife protection. Japan has come up with a clever way to protect wildlife near railway lines. They've designed a train that emits dog-like barks and deer-like bellows, gently scaring animals before the train arrives. The sounds scare animals off the tracks before the train even arrives. The payoff? Fewer collisions, safer journeys. A rare moment where technology and nature team up for survival. A brilliant, humane solution that works. Deep in the Argentine Sea, scientists stumbled on a sea star that looks like it swam straight out of Bikini Bottom. Plump body, stubby arms, and that unmistakable Patrick Star vibe. The discovery was made live during an expedition in the Mar del Plata submarine canyon. Viewers instantly dubbed it Argentina's Patrick Star, turning the deep ocean into a viral stage while Argentina's scientists face major funding cuts. Yes, Patrick is real, just not the one who lives under a rock. The Spix's macaw, also known as the little blue macaw, once wiped out in the wild by deforestation and the illegal pet trade, is making a comeback. After disappearing from Brazil's Caatinga since 2019, conservationists released 52 of these striking blue parrots back into their native land in June 2022. Thanks to years of international breeding programs and careful reintroduction efforts, they've been successfully returned to their native habitats. From a captive population of about 180, These birds are now breeding in the wild again. Today, flocks of them can once again be seen flying free, marking one of the rare and inspiring cases where a species has come back from extinction. A rare victory in conservation, proving extinction in the wild doesn't always mean the end. Baby owls have a problem. Their large, heavy heads are too heavy for their little bodies. So how do they sleep? Face down, just like a person who passed out on a desk. They sprawl on their stomachs, heads tilted to the side, until their neck muscles get strong enough to hold them upright like an adult owl. Adorable, practical, and a little bit hilarious. Leopard versus jaguar. At first glance, they look like twins, but the truth is in the details. Jaguars are the power lifters of the cat world, stocky and built like tanks. Their bite force? A bone-crushing 1,500 pounds per square inch, PSI, strong enough to punch through turtle shells and even crack caiman skulls. Leopards, on the other hand, are the acrobats. Sleeker, lighter, and masters of stealth, they can haul prey twice their size into treetops to keep it safe from scavengers. The giveaway? The spots. Jaguars wear rosettes with dots in the middle, while leopards' rosettes are clean. But if you're ever found yourself face-to-face with one, don't waste time checking spots. Just run. Starfish have one of the strangest feeding methods in the animal kingdom. They can eject their stomachs out of their bodies to eat. When a starfish finds prey like a mussel or clam, it uses its powerful arms to pry the shell open just slightly. Then, instead of swallowing the food, it pushes its stomach through its mouth and into the shell. Once inside, the stomach wraps around the prey and secretes digestive enzymes, breaking it down externally. After the meal is liquefied, the starfish pulls its stomach back in, along with the digested nutrients. This bizarre yet efficient strategy enables starfish to consume prey that is much larger than their small mouths can handle. The world's coolest sheep. Meet the Valais black-nosed sheep, straight out of Switzerland. With snow-white wool, jet-black faces, and spiral horns, they look more like runway models than farm animals. But it's not just style. These sheep act like pets. They're affectionate, gentle, and surprisingly trainable. Owners say they answer to names, follow commands, and even enjoy walks like a dog. Beneath their punk rock look is a calm, lovable nature. Wherever they show up, festivals or farms, they steal the spotlight and hearts. The plant that looks like a flock of birds. In the deserts of Australia grows a plant that will fool your eyes. The green bird flower, Crotalaria cunninghami. Its tiny blooms look just like little hummingbirds frozen mid-flight, thanks to pareidolia, the trick our brains play when spotting patterns. But here's the twist. Australia doesn't even have hummingbirds. Instead, the flowers evolved to attract local pollinators like large bees and honey-eater birds. It's not camouflage, it's survival, just dressed up in one of nature's cleverest illusions. Deep in the ocean, some cephalopods like the argonaut have one of the strangest mating tricks in nature. The male doesn't just transfer sperm, he detaches an entire arm to do the job. This arm, called a hectocotylus, swims on its own toward the female, guided by instinct and chemical signals. Once it reaches her, it delivers the sperm and sometimes even embeds itself in her body. In the vast emptiness of the deep sea, this bizarre strategy makes sure reproduction still happens. The rainbow squirrel, high in the forests of southern and central India, lives a creature that looks painted by an artist. The Malabar giant squirrel. Stretching up to 3 feet long, about 1 meter, including its tail, it's one of the largest squirrels on Earth. Its fur explodes with surreal shades of purple, maroon, orange, and even blue. But this wild palette isn't just for show. It helps them blend with shifting light in the canopy. Shy and almost never seen on the ground, these rainbow squirrels spend their lives leaping through treetops, feasting on fruits, nuts, and flowers. In 2022, British angler Andy Hackett hooked a legend from a French lake. A giant goldfish weighing 67 pounds, about the size of a golden retriever. Nicknamed Carrot, this pumpkin-colored monster had been released over 20 years earlier and spent decades dodging hooks while growing into a glowing freshwater giant. Unlike the tiny carnival pets we know, goldfish can balloon past a foot, 30 centimeters, when given space and food, sometimes turning invasive in the wild. Carrot, though, got a lucky break. After a few photos, Hackett actually let him go. Who's the biggest threat to nature? Not lions, not earthquakes. It's us, humans. Through deforestation, pollution, and global warming, we've become the planet's deadliest force. Forests vanish, oceans choke on plastic, and rising heat pushes species to extinction. Here's the shocking truth. Over 99% of all species that ever lived are gone. From trilobites to giant ferns to whole marine worlds, extinction is not rare. It's the rule. Earth has faced at least 5 mass extinction events, each rewriting life's story. And between them, countless species disappeared quietly, erased by climate shifts or habitat loss. Survival is the exception. The life you see today, including us, exists because it endured billions of years of chaos. Every creature alive is the last link in an unbroken chain of survival. That persistence is rare. That makes it priceless. And there you have it. We've just uncovered 50 animal facts that prove nature is far stranger and smarter than we give it credit for. From giants hiding in lakes to creatures that rewrite the rules of survival, the wild is full of lessons if we choose to look. Every species alive today, including us, is here because of persistence against impossible odds. That makes life not just precious, it's extraordinary. So next time you look at the natural world, remember, we're not just observers, we're part of that fragile chain of survival. Protect it, respect it, because once it's gone forever. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and see you in the next video. I proudly present a big thank you to all of you. Your thoughts, corrections, and suggestions help make every video sharper and better. I'm grateful for this community, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.